Namaste friends, welcome back to my channel. Friends, in our last video, we have made our Tarini pendant in pink color, and today we are going to complete our Tarini necklace by making this neckband for this pink pendant. This necklace is about 14 inches in size and it fits the neck perfectly, and here we would be making this neckband in pink color for this pendant. So let us see what all material do we need to make this neckband. For making our neckband for pink pendant, we would be using these roundels in opal pink color. Here I am using 2 by 3 mm roundels, and I'm using these pearls. These are in 3 mm size and these are in powder rose color. Then I'll be using these 11 seed beads. These are Muki Duracoat Silver Line Fuchsia 11 Here I'll be using these 11 These are Muki Duracoat Galvanized Champagne 11 I'm using this box clasp with 3 holes to take up 3 layers of our necklace. And I'll be working with Muki thread and size 12 beading needle. So let's get started. For making our neckband, I have taken about 60 inches of double thread on my needle. I'll be taking the thread in parts. Here I have taken 60 inches and I will make a part of the band, and then again I'll take the thread because it won't be possible to take the whole length of thread at the same time. It will get tangled up. So here I am taking only 60 inches first. For attaching the neckband, we need to attach some seed beads here on both the sides, and for this we will start from here. This is the bottom center of our pendant. As you can see, this is the bottom center, and here I'll be passing through this 3 mm pearl at the bottom, very carefully passing through this pearl. Like this. Into the 11 champagne. Now tie a knot in between this pearl and the 11 like this. Now I will pass through this second pearl into the second 11 champagne. Very carefully we have to pass through all these beads, and into the third pearl like this, and now into the third 11 champagne. Like this. Here we started from this bottom pearl, then next, and then next, and here after passing through 3 pearls and 3 11 here right now I'm exiting through this 11, and now I will pick up 1 11 fuchsia silver line and pass through this next 11 champagne like this. Pick up second 11 fuchsia and pass through the next 11 champagne like this. Pick up third 11 fuchsia and pass through the next 11 champagne, now fourth, 11 fuchsia, and pass through the next 11 champagne, now after adding these 4 11 fuchsia, right now I'm exiting through this 11 champagne and I will pass through this next 3 pearl on the top, like this. Next 11 champagne. So here we have passed through this first pair and into the second 3 pearl, into the 11 champagne, third 3 pearl, and into the 11 champagne. Now we have reached the other side of the pendant, like this. Here you can see that we added these 4 11 here, and this was the bottom center and this is the top center, and here we have left one 3 pearl and here again one 3 pearl. So leaving these 3 pearls on the top, and now I'm exiting through this 11 champagne. And now again I'm going to pick up one 11 fuchsia and pass through this next 11 champagne, again my second 11 fuchsia and pass through the next 11 champagne, third 11 fuchsia and pass through the next 11 champagne, and now fourth 11 fuchsia and into the next 11 champagne. Like this. So here we have added 4 11s on both the sides. Now this was the bottom center, and here at the bottom we have left 1 2 3 4 and 5 pearls in all, and at the top we have 1 2 3 pearls on the top. Now after adding these 11s on this side and 4 11s on the other side, right now I'm exiting through this 11 champagne. Now after adding these 4 11s on the other side, we will pass through this 3 pearl on the bottom, now here we can cut this tail off, into the 11 we are going to pass through all the 5 pearls that we left at the bottom. So this was the first, now second, second pearl into the 11, third pearl, into the 11O, fourth pearl, into the 11O, now into the fifth pearl, now into the 11O champagne, and step up into the first 11O that we added. Now, after stepping up into this first 11O fuchsia, I will pick up 3 11O champagne and pass through this next 11O fuchsia like this. Again, pick up 3 11O champagne and pass through this next 11O fuchsia like this. Again, pick up 3 11O champagne and pass through the next 11O fuchsia like this. We have added 3 sets of 11O champagne, and now I will pick up 4 11O champagne, 1 3mm pearl and 2 11O champagne. So here I have picked up 4 11O champagne, 1 3mm pearl and 2 11O champagne. Bring them down towards the end here, and now after bringing them down, I will pass through the first 2 11O champagne near this 11O fuchsia. So here I'm going down through the first 2 11O champagne near 11O fuchsia like this, and just creating a Y this way. Now I will pass through this 11O fuchsia and up into the first 2 11Os of this set, the first 2 11O champagne of this set. I would be exiting through the middle 11O champagne like this. Now, after exiting through this middle 11O champagne, I will pick up 2 11O champagne, 1 3mm pearl. After picking up these 3 beads, I'll be passing through this 11O champagne next to, just before this 3mm pearl, going down through this 11O champagne, and this way we added another Y and pick up 1 11O champagne and pass through this middle 11O champagne. It's a sort of netting that we are doing to add our 3mm pearls here for making our neck bend. Now after passing through this center 11O champagne, I will step up into the first 2 11Os, 11O champagne like this. Now after exiting through this 11O champagne, I'm going to pick up 1 3mm pearl and 2 11O champagne, 1 3mm pearl and 2 11O champagne, and now I will pass through this middle 11O of the next set down here, and here we are adding a third 3mm pearl, and now I will pick up 1 11O champagne and go up through this 11O on the top in between the pearls like this. So here we have added our third pearl, stepping up into the pearl, going down through the next 11 champagne, pick up 1 champagne and pass through the middle 11 champagne of the first set of 3 11 that we added down here like this. Now pick up 2 11 champagne and 1 3 pearl and go down through this 11 champagne next to 3 pearl like this. So here we have added our fourth pearl down through this 11 and into this 11 like this. So we added 4 pearls, step up into the first 2 11s like this, and now I'm going to pick up 1 3 pearl and 4 11 champagne, and I will pass through this bottom 11 fuchsia like this. Now we will move up through these 11s, these two and the above two. Here we are passing through these 4 11 champagne, very gently we have to pull our thread here. Like this into the 3 pearl, down through these 2 11s, and now coming down through these 2 11s, and now we will be passing through the last 2 11s out of the 4 we added with the last pearl. Here going down through these, keep it tight here, and into the 11 fuchsia like this. We have to keep our thread nice and tight here, and here this way we have added our 5 pearls, and now we will move up to our pearls through these 11s. You may find it a bit difficult as we are taking 4 threads here, as we are using double thread. If you find it difficult, you can use single thread also. Up through these 2 11s like this. Now after exiting through this 11 champagne, we will step up into the pearl like this, down through these 2 11s, and move up through these 2 11s, now this way we are going to move up through these 2 11s and into our 3 mm pearl like this. And now we are going to add raw component to our pearls. For this, I'm going to pick up 3 mm pearls, as I already have 4, so I'm going to pick up only 3 mm pearls and pass through this 3 mm pearl through which I'm exiting right now, like this, moving up through this 3 mm pearl. Now here I have 2 pearls and I'll be picking up only 2 more like this and pass through the pearl, move up to this pearl, and this is our next raw component, into this 3 mm pearl and into our next 3 mm pearl. Again I will pick up 2 3 mm pearls and pass through these 2 3 mm pearls like this, moving up through this 3 mm pearl, pick up 2 3 mm pearls into this one, up through this pearl, into these, down through this and into the next 3 mm pearl. And now again I'm going to pick up 2 3 mm pearls and into the 2 pearls like this. So here I have completed 1 row of my raw component, and I will step up like this into this one. Now after stepping up into this 3 mm pearl, I will pick up 3. You can see from the back I stepped up into this top pearl of the last component that I added, and now I'll be picking up 3 3 mm pearls and pass through the same pearl like this, stepping up into this 3 mm pearl, pick up 2 3 mm pearls into this one, and up through this one. So this is my second raw component of second row, and now I will step up into this 3 mm pearl, down through this 3 mm pearl, into this one. And now for the third raw component, again I'm going to pick up 2 3 mm pearls and pass through these 2 3 mm pearls like this. And this way I'll be completing my row of 5 raw components, as I did in the previous one. We had 1 2 3 4 and 5 raw components. Here in this row I have completed 1 2 3 raw components. I'll be adding 2 more and come back. Now here I have completed my second row of raw component, and I'm stepping up into this 3 mm pearl and into the next 3 mm pearl on the top of this last component that I added. Now I'll be adding 1 more component, but here I'll be adding rondelles. So I'll be adding rondelles with the pearls. So here at the bottom I have this 3 mm pearl. Now I will pick up 1 3 mm pearl, 1 2 by 3 mm rondelle, and 1 3 mm pearl. So here I have picked up these 3 beads, 1 3 mm pearl, 1 rondelle, and 1 3 mm pearl, and I will pass through this 3 mm pearl, and this way you can see that I have got this rondelle on the top. So next rows will be done with the rondelles. I have got the base for my rondelles. Now I will step up into this 3 mm pearl. Now I'll be picking up one rondelle and one 3 mm pearl, one 2 by 3 mm rondelle and one 3 mm pearl, and pass through this next 3 mm pearl up through this 3 mm pearl into the rondelle, down through this 3 mm pearl and the next 3 mm pearl. Now we would be going anti-clockwise, so we are going to add 3 mm pearl and the rondelle. Pick up one 3 mm pearl and the rondelle and pass through the two 3 mm pearls. Now moving up through this 3 mm pearl. We have to be very careful while adding this row, as we need these rondelles to be on the extreme left or right if you are working with your right hand, as we are going to make it as a base for our rondelles. So here I'm going clockwise, so I'll pick up rondelle first and the pearl into this 3 mm pearl, up through the pearl, into the rondelle and into the pearl and into the next pearl, like this. Now we are going anti-clockwise, so I'm picking up pearl first, 3 mm pearl and the 2 by 3 mm rondelle and pass through these two pearls. So this is the band that we are creating, and now we are stepping up into our rondelle, and now we would be picking up only rondelles. So here I already have one. I'll be picking up 3 rondelles like this and pass through this one like this, up through the rondelle, pick up 2 rondelles and pass through this one at the bottom, up through this rondelle into these 2 and into the next rondelle. So we are going to add this row of rondelles and come back. So here we have completed a row of 5 raw components with rondelles, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 raw components, and I will step up into the top rondelle for adding my second row. And here we have added our first row of 5 raw components, and we are going to add 15 such rows of these raw components. So we have added first, we are going to add 14 more rows and come back. Now here you can see that I have finished up my thread before completing, and now as I'm exiting through this bead, I will pass through this one and just make a knot here like this, and I will pass through this rondelle into this rondelle into this rondelle, and now after passing through 2 or 3 more rondelles, after tying a knot, I can cut my thread off. And now I'll be adding another thread to my needle. Now here I have added a new thread to my needle, and I have taken the same length, 60 inches double thread, and now I'm going to add it to my neckband, and for this I'm passing through this rondelle, tie a double knot in between here, like this into this round tail, down through this round tail, now we can cut this tail off. Into this round tail. Once again we will tie a knot. Up through the round tail, into this, up into this, and into our first round tail, like this. Now we are going to add more of our rows with round tails. I have already added 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. We had to add 15 rows, so here I have added 8. I will add 7 more and come back.